Hello everybody, Legna here to talk about Major Depressive Disorder. Major Depressive Disorder, MDD, also known as clinical depression, is having intense and persistent feelings of sadness. It is a severe medical condition which impacts most, if not all, of our lives, and often those closest to us. It impacts our mood, behavior, sleeping patterns, eating patterns, physical activities, relationships, and so on. This in turn can impact our work, school, and overall well-being. MDD differs from depression in that it is always present. It never leaves us. Yes, we have good days, but even when our days are good and we feel happy, we are still depressed. I call it my happy depressed days. Those of you that know me understand that I often use humor as one of my coping techniques. Not sure if everyone will get this, but those of us that suffer from major depressive disorder certainly will. Humor is often used. MDD is a daily condition without cure. The symptoms can be managed with or a combination of different types of therapy, medications, exercise, and other forms of treatment. But we still have it. I chose to speak about MDD as my first diagnosis because that is the illness that I have struggled with the most. 28 years. The destroyer, the bloodsucker of all my illnesses. 28 years, wow, I say. That's a long time. But there's many more of you out there struggling and continuing to suffer even longer. My heart goes out to all of you. You are a hero to all of us. You are here, you are alive, and that's what's important. And as mentioned in my welcome vlog, if you missed it, please check it out here. If you put an intense episode of depression with 2 weeks of premenstrual dysphoric disorder, PMDD, you will find me in absolute darkness. Let me stay on topic here, as PMDD will be discussed in a future vlog. I recall being first diagnosed with MDD. I recall fitting into all of the criteria, and then some. Several assessments later over the years, only to confirm the same. I have MDD, deal with it. I remember as a child I would spend a lot of time thinking, analyzing to myself, trying to figure out what was going on inside me. I mean, I was pleasant, liked, smart in school, kind, popular, all those things that teenagers find important. And even though I laughed a lot, smiled often, and had lots of energy, I knew I felt sadder than I should, than I deemed normal, and especially without reason. I couldn't explain this to my mom as a child. Don't get me wrong, she was around all of the time, and she did the best she could. My dad too. But how could I explain something that I didn't understand myself? This illness continued to grow inside me like poison, and instead of getting help, I became more ill, only to be further confused by the days that were good. Regardless of all of this, here I am now, one of the faces of many living with MDD, choosing to believe that everything happens for a reason. Could you tell I have MDD? Please don't assume you know what someone else is struggling with. Many of us have been reading about the COVID virus and how it is impacting our lives and mental health even more so. Yes, indeed, it has been a sad and scary time for most of us. But remember, the COVID virus shows much resemblance to someone living with MDD. MDD, like COVID, results in having to wear masks daily, when on the outside and in our own homes. It prevents us from getting access to services and resources that we need. It puts us in isolation or can lead to isolation. And without medical attention or treatment, it can kill us or make us feel like we are already dead. Now here are some of the tips on what not to say with someone who has MDD or struggling with depression. People have it worse. You don't act like someone who has depression. Get over it. You have a good life. You seem happy. You are always smiling. You should be happy. You're never happy. Nothing can make you happy. It's all in your head. You're crazy. Nuts. It's only an excuse. What did people do years ago? Just tell me what's wrong. It's the choices you have made. It's your fault. But why? If you aren't happy, I can't be happy. I thought you were stronger than that. You'll get over it. You worry too much. And as we know, the list goes on and on. Major depressive disorder has affected me more than any other diagnoses because it is constantly with me. Yes, we have good days, but unlike a mentally well person, we always have depression. Again, I repeat, I refer to this as my happy depressed self. Now, what can really confuse those who do not suffer from MDD is the fact that many of us diagnosed with MDD often present happier than a person without the diagnoses. But again, I would like to emphasize that MDD never leaves us. Think of it like someone having type 1 diabetes. They didn't cause it, and neither did we cause our depression. There is no cure for it, as with MDD. Some days are worse than others, and without just cause, just like MDD. They can reduce their symptoms via insulin and exercise, eating healthy, as we with MDD can take medication and seek outside support. It can be intensely triggered by a number of variables, just as someone with MDD. But like type 1 diabetes, MDD still exists. There is no cure. And any change to our sleeping, eating, social life, or any kind of relationship can lead into a deep depression. We have to try twice as hard to stay as well as we can. We don't expect others to tiptoe around us or ask others to feel sorry for us. Yet we should be able to set our boundaries to protect ourselves from unnecessary triggers, whether others agree or disagree. Many of us are actually pros at this. We have had to learn how to best protect ourselves so that we can continue to wear our masks and proceed as if everything is fine. We have choices and we know we have to do our part. But this illness often steals that from us. When we are very unwell, our brain cannot recognize those choices or the positives, so please don't ask us to. We have been through this before. We have suitcases filled with tools. This too shall pass. We say this the longer we have MDD, but it never feels that way when we are in that moment, when we are in deep depression. Nonetheless, those struggling with MDD are some of the strongest people I know or I have ever met. We are also extremely self-aware and more aware of our surroundings than the average mentally well person. So please don't patronize us or underestimate us. We also ask that you do not confuse MDD with depression, seasonal or situational depression. Yes, most of us feel better when the sun is shining and things are going well in our lives. The difference for a person struggling with MDD is that the beautiful sun can and often does become blocked by the darkness. It can just happen. It can come out of nowhere without any trigger or cause. We can sometimes see it coming. We hope we can stop it. We seek help when we can. We try to stop it. But if you would like to know more about our personal experiences with MDD, please ask. Don't assume you know. Please don't question us, but rather inquire. Or even better, let us know that you are a true supporter of mental health and be true to your words. We will decide if and what we choose to share with you. Please respect this. Don't make us feel bad for not sharing with you, as we already feel enough years of guilt, shame, and pain. And this should never be. We hear some people talk so negatively about those who die by suicide. This does not help anyone. We know when we complete such terminal acts, we hurt others. We often see no other option during those times. It is often out of desperation that these things happen. The pain, the hiding, becomes way too difficult to handle. The attempt to make others feel better in our misery fails us. We can't pretend anymore. So please don't shame me for sharing this vlog, as this is my means to survival. This is my means to live. You see, this illness is so serious that not even the people we love the most can stop this. Not our friends, not our work, not our education, our money, our partner, not our looks, but rather what would help us is a society that truly recognizes MDD as a chronic health condition that needs consistent and long-term care, a workforce that is willing to accommodate such a disability as they would a physical disability, people who can admit that they do not understand mental illness but are willing to learn, or at least keep their negative opinions to themselves. This is helpful. And family and friends accepting the illness, even when they don't understand, this also helps us. This is all we ask for. I am one of those individuals, like many of you, struggling with major depressive disorder. We would like to attend and achieve higher education, pursue a career, make a good income, be in a healthy relationship, buy a home, and so on. So why aren't we being accommodated? Please visit my new updated Patreon page and feel free to drop into my Discord chat room. Both links are in the video description. Feel free to become one of my patrons and vote for my monthly topic choice. The form for patron votes is in the description, along with my weekly updated vote results. If you are unable to be a patron at the moment, please like and comment on my video, subscribe to my channel, and share with someone who you might think could use the help. Bye from Legna.